Hello again! In the previous episode, we used the particle system component to create a nice visual effect for the power-up. In this episode, we will create a high score system that will save the highest score into an external file. Let's start by duplicating the score text and moving it to the opposite side. Rename it as high score text and anchor it in the top right corner. Write high score in the text field and change the horizontal alignment to right side. Then, change the position on X to -40. Next, open the UI controller script. We need to create two variables, one for the high score and one for the UI. Let's start with the high score. Write public static int high score, and then public text high score text. We will update this text only when a new scene opens, so we will define the value in start function. Write high score text dot text equals to high score in double quotes plus high score dot to string. Also, we will load the saved score from the external file in start function. There is a class in Unity called PlayerPrefs that allows us to store and load simple data from a file. Write high score equals to PlayerPrefs. Since we are loading data, not saving, we need to write .getInt and parentheses after it. Inside of the parentheses, we first need to define a key, which is of type string, and after it the value. The key is an identifier which allows us to locate the stored data from the file. Imagine it as a label on a paper inside of a folder, which allows the secretary to find the desired information. We will use high score as a key. So, write high score in double quotes, comma, and then the high score variable. Note that the key is not the same thing as the variable even though the name is same. Also, make sure that you write this PlayerPrefs line above the line where we update the text. Otherwise, when we first time start the game, the text will display 0 because the high score has not yet been loaded. The code is read from top to bottom, so order does matter. Okay, now we have the loading of the score working, but then we need to figure out how and when to save it. We should save it when the current score exceeds the high score and the player either restarts the game or returns to main menu. So, locate the if statement for restarting the level. There, inside of the if statement, but before we set the score to 0, we need to do the saving. Write if score is greater than high score. Now we need to set the current score as high score. Write high score equals to score. And then we will save the high score. Write PlayerPrefs dot setInt high score in double quotes, comma, high score. We need to use the same key here as we did earlier. Otherwise, the value can't be found in start function. Next, we will write exactly the same if statement for main menu as well. Copy the if statement and paste it inside of the main menu if statement. This is all the code we need. Save the script and return to Unity. Drag the high score text to the correct variable slot and apply the changes to the UI prefab. Then hit play and test. First, collect only one pickup and then collide with the snail or a projectile and restart the level. Awesome! It works and updates well. Now we have a working high score mechanism. In the next episode, we will add sound effects to our game. Remember to save the scene. See you again.